Hi everyone, and welcome to this betting preview for the 2022 Cape Met, powered by World Sports Betting. Well, this show is powered by at Manscaped. You can get 20% off free shipping for all of their products. They're the best in the world as far as below the belt men's grooming is concerned. And you can go down below this video, get a link to the Manscaped site, and also use the promo code GFTG for that 20% off, including free shipping, and that is worldwide. Well, let's get into the race itself now, and welcome. We chat about 3 or 4 times a year for these betting previews. It's Jason Dedekind. Jason, good to see you again.
Yeah, morning, Brent. Morning to the viewers there. It's good to be on board, and let's hope we can find some winners. It's been a good Cape season so far, and I think it's going to culminate in a great day on Saturday.
Excellent. Yeah, it should be a good one. Quite a decent build-up. I noticed what to me looks like a fairly small field for the Met this year, Jason. What's the reason for that? Or is it fairly common for the Met? I always kind of remember a bigger field.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation, Brent, about the horses in the Cape. I think a lot of the Joburg guys haven't travelled. A lot of the Durban guys haven't travelled. And I don't know if they have the ammunition to actually take on the Cape boys. I know Sean Terry's gone down with Cirillo and that, and Mark de Kock's taken a few horses down for the undercard. But I think in terms of the quality of the horse, you've got 11 triers, you've got 11 good horses. It's pity it's not 16, 17, 18 horses from a betting perspective, because obviously the smaller the race, the prices tend to box up a little bit. But I think you've got 11 horses, but it's quality.
Excellent. Well, yeah, the quality is the main thing. Talking of quality, very unfortunate we couldn't get Alan Moskrop on the show with us. Normally the three of us have a go at it, and also Hilton Hassan couldn't make it as well. We will have Alan's tips on Good for the Game. I'll put links down below in the box. You can link through the Good for the Game forum where he and other punters will be sharing a few tips. And we'll also carry his picks in a bit of a written preview. So those are down below in the description box. But Jason, let's get into it. I'm going to go through in betting order here, and we got the favorite. It's actually joint favorites, but I'm looking at World Sports Betting's prices here. We've got Jet Dark at 7-2, topping the boards with Comedy Dung. But let's start with Jet Dark. What do you make of this one?
He's got to be a runner. Third run after a rest. He's always been a horse where we don't know if 2,000 meters is his game. He's won, over 1,800 meters. Very impressive in the Queen's Plate. Let's just touch on that. He's won the Queen's Plate 2 years in a row, over 1,600 meters. Lost a little bit of ground at the start, and listening to Robert Bloomberg on Clocking the Gallop during the week, he's right. The race was run suited to the horse, and it suited that he lost a bit of length at the start because he was able to make up that ground. He's not a horse that likes to run amongst other horses. He likes to be on his own, and was a very well-timed win. Smunga rides him again. Obviously, he's riding a lot for Snape at the moment, especially during the season. And I think Jet Dark is a runner. A lot of guys are saying 2000's just out of his ground. On form, on paper, he should be the horse to beat. You can only go with what you've seen in the last couple of runs and his well-being. I'll make him a runner. I think on form, he is a worthy favourite.
Right, worthy favourite, and joint favourite with him is number 5, Comedy Dung. Comedy Dung's been around a while.
Yeah, it won the Vodacom Durban July. And it's one of those fairy tale horses. Had Cecile Shirley up, and then not get jocked off, but they chose to put Gavin Lorena on in the July, and it proved a masterstroke. Ashwin Reynolds, Michelle Ricks, the Crawford, they've done phenomenally well with this horse, and it's you just have to follow social media to see how the people of Cape Town have come around and actually just really just embraced this horse, embraced the stable, embraced everything to do with this horse, and Vodacom Durban July winner. Touched off by Jet Dark last time out, beaten by 2 1/4 lengths. So when I say touched off, had a chance. But the Met's always been the main aim for the horse. I think better over 2,000 meters than the 1,600 meters, and also one of those worthy favourites. For me, those, I've been talking in social media in the last couple of weeks. Those are your 2 form horses. Racing is not always run on paper, but if you're looking at the race itself, those are the 2 horses that bring the best form into the race and current form. A lot of people make a case for Linebacker. Linebacker fluffed these lines last time out a little bit in the plate. But, like I say, that's paper. This race is not run on paper. It's run on a beautiful Kenilworth racecourse. And, but on form, Jet Dark, Comedy Dung, the right 2 in the race. My slight preference would be for Comedy Dung out of those 2.
Okay, out of those two, let's go on to the third favourite in the race, a double superlative here at 4-1.
Yeah, Justin Snaith's very, very bullish about this horse. Only problem is for me is Anton Marcus. He was injured during the week. He got his whole chin cut open. He's got stitches where his is the pretty cool. It his skull cap will go the strip of his skull cap. He actually got kicked in the face, and so he's got massive stitches here. So it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for him on the day. I mean, I do like him in a couple of other races, so just going to watch how he goes. And riding at 54, he normally rides 56, 57, so he's coming down quite a lot of weight. I heard during the week the weight is going to be no problem, but yeah, it takes its toll on these jocks. He's an ultimate professional, but the bottom line is, when you have to, he might be just a bit weak. But having said that, Justin Snaith is very bullish about this horse. I can't have him. I'll tip him probably in my top 5, but I think he needs to show a little bit more. Maybe he'll improve over the 2,000 meters. I mean, he's a 2-time winner. He's beaten not much. Pomp and Power, a few others, Son of Silk. He's run behind Triple Fortune, which wasn't a bad run. And, the trainer knows the horse better than we do. So for guys that like to know what Justin says, he's very bullish about double superlative. I just think that this race might have come a bit too soon in his career for him. I'll be watching him more in obviously the derbies and maybe the Vodacom Derby as well as he strengthens up as a 3-year-old. But, if I was a bookmaker, this is a horse I'd probably be laying.
Right, stretching the price out, trying to get a bit of action on it. Number 6 is Linebacker. You touched on this one earlier at 5-1.
Yeah, a lot of guys are really in Linebacker's camp, being Robert Bloomberg, Neil Andrews, and a couple of other guys out there that are really, really keen on this horse. Obviously, this horse finished second to Komati Ding in the July, so there's not much to go with them on form, on paper. But the last run for me just didn't leave a good taste in my mouth. Obviously, form is current, class is forever, as they say. I just think this horse needs to show a little bit more. I think he can run into the money, but I won't be putting Linebacker into my pick 6. I know a lot of people might be saying, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I just think for me, Komati Ding and Jet Dark will have his number again. Take nothing away from, obviously Grant Panika gets back on board, and that might also help the horse a bit. But I just think that wherever Komati Ding finishes, Linebacker finishes behind him.
Right. Well, the next horse is an interesting one because I know there's been quite a bit of money for this one. I did see Alan Southpaw's comments on this. Marina at 7-1.
Yeah, this horse Anti-Post was 16-1. Finished third in the Paddock Stakes, flying behind Captain's Ransom. The stable's very confident of a good run. Anybody that got the 16-1 Anti-Post, at least you've got a ticket, because this is my value in the race. I said it on social media during the week. It was 10-1 at the time. I said, this is my value of the race. But it's an unknown quantity. It's a filly taking on the boys. You know how good Hoedspruit is. You know how good Komati Ding, Jet Dark are. You know they're going to finish on top of each other. You just don't know where Marina's going to finish. Is she good enough to beat this field? Obviously, at 10-1, 7-1, there are reservations. But I'll make her the biggest danger to the top 2 in the betting boards. I think she's primed to win this. I think the distance is right up her alley. She's won at 2-4 before. So there's no worry about, does she stay, doesn't she stay? But just go back. People must just go onto Twitter if they can, look at Racing Guru there, and go back and find the race of the Politician Stakes with Captain's Ransom, and just watch how this horse was just flying at the finish. Another 10 meters, this horse wins. So for me, she could have taken her place in the race before. I want to make sure I get the name right, because you don't want to miss the Schreps Majorca Stakes. She could have taken her place against Captain Ransom. And the rest of them, Princess Keller, the same old. But the stable are so confident with this horse in terms of her ability, they've chosen to go into the Met. And that, for me, shows me that she'll love the distance. The stable, I mean, they've won the major races before. Candice Bass is an ultimate professional. And with Aldo on board, I think she represents the best value. So that's what Alan was saying in our little WhatsApp things. Finally, we aligned, because this, for me, I've got a few doubles and trebles.
And you're not on the show together.
Yeah, and that's the thing. For me, this is the value in the race.
Excellent. Well, great to hear both of you aligned there. Then this is Do It Again, number 1. Now, for the guys like me who don't follow racing as closely as you, but look, watch the big races, this name will ring a bell.
Yeah, he's 7 years old now, so he's getting a little bit on a bit long in the tooth. But you know, he fluffed his lines on Queen's Plate Day. Unfortunately, he was an odds-on favourite, and people seem to just judge horses on their last start. So, like I said, form is it can come and go. This horse is class. I know one of your followers. On Good for the Game, Mr. Steve Reed. This is his bet for the day. This is his selection in the race. And I've been on Do It Again more often than I can remember. I stood to win. When I say rockets, a couple of grand on the July, got bulked. I didn't think Richard Free rode a great race, but having said that, I think the other jocks maybe just rode better races. I think Bernard Fade Herb will definitely suit the source. Cheap pieces I see go back on, which will just keep his mind on the job. And at over 2,000 meters, this is one of the horses I will be putting in my pick six. So, for me, the race lies between the top two in the betting boards, Marina, and you can't leave Do It Again out. Class. Two-time Vodacom July winner. He wants to win this Met. I know Justin's always been speaking highly of him. You just have to look at the beach photographs that were posted on social media and to see his well-being. He still looks fresh. He still looks like a machine. And you don't write him off after that last run.
Excellent. So you reckon the winner will probably come out of the horses that we discussed so far, but I'll run through the balance of the field there, Jason. You can just give me your views on them. Hoodspray, which I see is the fourth member of the Snaith stable that's running here. The fourth horse, they a hell of a strong hand for Snaith.
Yeah, he's always got these top horses in these races, and champion owner last year, Mrs. Fulyun. It's got Hoodspray in the race, and it's great for her to have a runner in the Met. And would it be a shock winner? No, I don't think so. I think he's rated at 116. I think that's probably his right rating. He won the Premier's Trophy on Queen's Plate Day, so he does have the credentials are there. I just don't know if he's in this class right now. He finished fourth behind Linebacker this time last year. So he's got a few lengths to find for me on the favourites, the likes of Komati Ding, Jet Dark, Linebacker, for example. So if I don't really like Linebacker, I can't really like Hoodspray. But having said that, won a very decent race last time out, fought-on game, and he came from nowhere. And maybe for the guys out there that are going to go like wide-ish, you can throw Hoodspray in for a result. But for me, I just think that this horse might be a little bit just a fraction behind this field in terms of quality. I know in terms of times, Hoodspray's time and Marina's time on Queen's Plate Day over the same distance, Hoodspray is technically a second and a bit faster. But all races are run differently. You got to just alter your tactics during the race and that. And if that's the case, Marina's 400 to finish was 23.8, where Hoodspray was 24.3. Shows me that Marina quickened up off a slower run race. So for me, Hoodspray must have a chance. If you've got 11 runners, you've always got a chance. But for me, it's probably like 5th, 6th, 7th in sort of my pecking order.
Well, now there's a big jump in the betting because we've had everything so far we've discussed being under 20 to 1. Now, the last four horses are all rank outsiders. We've got second base here, 50 to 1.
Yeah, you've got second base, Puerto Manzano, Rocking Ringo, and Cirillo. Now, I mean, they represent the trainers that are sort of raiding. I mean, you've got Janse van Vuren, and you've got Sean Terry, and then you've got Mr. Pete Puerta, the ex-jock. So I know Pete's not raiding, but let's touch on his horse first, Rocking Ringo. They all say that this horse is going to be the pacemaker. This horse is going to take it to the front and try and set a steady gallop. I'm sure that's what Corne Offa will do. It's good to have Corne back riding in South Africa. And I just think at the top of the straight, he's going to kick, but I don't think he's in the class of the horse. He finished 5 lengths behind Rascallion. Rascallion on a line between Linebacker and Komati Ding. They all finished on top of each other. Also finished 9th behind Hoodspray last time out. Worse off at the weights. I can't have Rocking Ringo, but he's in the race to be the pacemaker, I'm sure. And like I said earlier, 11 runners, but it's nice just to have a runner on the day. Is he up to this quality of field? I don't think so. I think he'll finish closer to last than first, but he's there to set the pace. And then second base and Puerto Manzano. A lot of guys are saying second base. You don't have any stamina doubts about second base, which is good. On a line through Linebacker, will be finished on top of each other. Back in May, it finished 2.8 lengths behind Linebacker. And I just think that, you got to travel down. You got to see what you can do. For me, drawn 10, I can run into the money. I'll be putting in the quartet, but that's about it. And then Puerto Manzano, I also just think blinkers go on. I just don't know if he's up into the quality of this field.
Right. What do you think then, Jason, from a betting strategy? What's your strategy going to be for the Met? Are you just going Marina win? Are you looking at swingers, quartets? What are you going to do?
Well, I've taken a few doubles into Marina and into Comedy Din. I think those are my 2 plays in the day. I think just listening to our friend Stevie, I mean, he reminded me of my good old friend Do It Again. So I will have a few rand each way on Do It Again. But then for me, the quartet is definitely the way to go because I think it is a quartet carryover. So punters must get involved in the tote there or with your local bookmaker. For me, I'll be floating probably Comedy Din and Marina and then just putting in a few. I don't think I'm going to put in the whole field. I'll put in Do It Again. I'll put in Jet Dark, linebacker, Hootspruit, and just for the guys, double superlative. I think he is an under in quantity. If he does improve and is as good as Justin think he is, then he can run into the money. So for me, I'll float Comedy Ding and Marina, hoping to lose Jet Dark and linebacker to get a bit of a result with Do It Again, Hootspruit, and double superlative.
Excellent. Well, let's run through the balance of the card because, of course, the Met is just but one race on a very packed card with what looks to be like a lot of quality. I'm going to pull up some of the betting here on World Sport Betting, and we could just skim through the races. You just shout which races you want me to focus on.
We'll go through very quickly. I mean, I've got a comment on every race, but it'll be very, very quick. First race, number 6, Put Etre Moy. Apologies to all the English professors out there because my pronunciation might not be exactly that. I know a lot of guys on social media tend to let rip at that, but okay, race 1, number 6. It's simplified like that. The talk is that this is the right horse. The talk is that this is a decent favorite. I don't know if even money or 12 to 10 is the right price. I think if you can just wait and get 14, 15 to 10, it's a good horse to start your day off with your doubles and trebles. That for me is that. Otherwise, you got to look at like maybe taking exactas, boxing the 4 Eliodoro, the 6 Putra et Moy, and maybe the 7 Everglades. That's race 1.
Let's go. Oh, sorry, Jace, did you have anything else on that?
Yep. No, it's fine. So race 2.
Race 2.
Race 2. I see our friend Southpaw likes the first time of Futurismo. Futurismo.
Oh, here we go. 16 to 1.
Yeah. So I loved the stable companion Gentleman Joe. This horse opened on some betting sites at 6s, some betting sites at 8s. It's now 5 to 2. So for me, that's where my day starts. I've taken a few doubles and trebles, starting with Gentleman Joe. I think that's the right horse in the race. It finished like a steam train last time out. And the form, it's not the worst, but, I don't like the 1 Steinbeck and I don't like the 2 Navy Strength. I just think they've had their chances and might be a bit of, as they say in racing, tea leaves. So I'm going for Gentleman Joe to win. If you want to take exactas in that, then obviously throw in what Southpaw likes. He's right. It's a very well-bred first-timer. Stable jock, or the jock that rides more, is on Gentleman Joe, and the money's come for that horse. So have a look at the betting come race time. If there is money for the first-timer, then they've backed the first one to get a price on the second one. But for me, the horse to beat there is number 8, Gentleman Joe.
Excellent. Yeah, certainly I'll be looking at that and perhaps swingers with South's horse there. Then race number 3, what do you like here?
Third race. I think it's a tough race. I haven't got a really strong selection, so it's more like a quartet race for me. I know that Daryl Marie, one of the top punters around and tipsters, he likes the 6 Transact Strong. The money has come. It has shortened, I think, what you're betting there, 28 to 10. It's not a bad price. I saw 2 to 1 at another bookmaker earlier today. So there's money there. I think the 4 or the 3 double charges a runner. I think the 4 Captain Dizzy's a runner. There's also been good money for Captain Dizzy. 10 to 1 into probably 6, 7 to 1. And then like for me, there's a horse in the race that just keeps jumping out at me, and it's near the bottom of the boards at 16 to 1 called What a Bolt. I just think that, for me, anything can win this race. Like I said, it's an open race. That's where I'd be playing my money is on the 10, just maybe a small each way bet, just to see what happens, because anything can win this race. It's a tough start to the PA. So I'll be putting in probably the 4 Captain Dizzy, the 6 Transact, and maybe the 10 What a Bolt to see if we can get a result.
Excellent. Right, let's move on to the 4th race, which I'm guessing then must be the first leg of the pick 6. And here we got
Correct.
Warrior, the favorite, at 2 to 1.
Now this horse is a massive horse. It's a big horse. It's a horse packed with class. They thought it was entered for the Met. So there's been money for Warrior. I'm making the horse to beat. Obviously, Silver Operator is unbeaten course and distance, 4 from 4. over the Kenilworth 1400 meters. That would be my first selection in the race. And I see our friend Southpaw likes number 8, Look for Hounds. Now, I backed this last time out. There has been money 10-1 into what's that, 5-1 now. Ooh.
Yeah, 5
so there's
to
been
1.
a lot of money for Look for Hounds. So I'll be playing around those in the first leg of the pick 6. Take nothing away from Russian Rock, Hard Park. I think they will have their supporters, but I think the race lies between the 2, the 4, and the 8.
Right, let's move on to the 5th race. That'll be first leg of the jackpot, will it? And are there multiple jackpots on the race day, or just the one?
No, they actually are multiple. They've got 3 jackpots. Races, they actually changed it up. Races 1 to 4, 5 to 8, and then 9 to 12. So punters out there must also just bear that in mind. Don't say first jackpot if you're putting it on race 5. That's actually the second jackpot. It's a bit confusing, but yeah, just bear that in mind. Listen, we don't spend too much time on this race. This is a juvenile race. Anything can win. It's one of those races where I think Field in the pick 6 will have to go. I do know that Robert Bloomberg very, very bullish about the chances of the 7. What price is the 7 there? Cliff Top.
7 is 8-1. Cliff Top.
Yeah, it was 14-1 yesterday. So there's been more money for this horse. It's a juvenile. It's a maiden. So the maidens tend to get weight from the horses that have won. On collateral form, it's the one Cruise Control beat it on debut. It's a PE horse. Alan Swift comes up. He knows how to win these races. So for me, I see there's adjustment in the bet.
Yeah, it's just and look, we're not live, so we can't claim they're going against us, because this shows I'm only posting it after the recording. But as we're talking, it's gone 10-1.
Yeah, that's right, because it was 12-1 yesterday, 14-1 So that's probably the right price.
So the 8-1 was probably an over adjustment.
Yeah, 100%. So Pacific Green, worthy favourite, won well on Queen's Plate Day. Opened up the Queen's Plate Festival on the Friday. I think that's the horse to beat. But yeah, you can, whatever you like there. I won't talk anybody out of it. I like a little bit of the 3, certainly, which is also 16-1. Won very well on debut. The form has worked out quite nicely. But I wouldn't talk anybody out of backing anything in this race. I know that there's also been money for the 13 Banika. But yeah, whatever you like there, have a few each way round.
As you say, if you're in the pick 6, there you're just trying to get through it somehow or other.
100%. Those juvenile races, they improve at such different speeds. So these horses, so yeah.
Right now we got the Politician Stakes, race 6, run over 1800 meters.
Yeah, one of my better bets of the card comes up here, and the money has poured onto this horse. It opened 5-6-1. It's now 19-10 at All Sports Betting. I think Pakaya will take a pound of beating. This horse, let me just get to the race here, because I made a few notes. And this horse its merit rating should be a 108, based on where it's run and how it's been running. So it's basically 13 points better than what it's running off. Now this is a best weighted race, so you have to understand that he's not weighted to win based on his actual merit rating, but on the rating that he should have, he is weighted to win, if that makes sense. He's rated at 95. People out there make him a 108, and I listen to these experts because they're very good at what they do. But in the Met run, he ran to a 122 behind Jet Dar. So you suddenly give this horse 122 carrying 57. He should be slung. He should be the best bet on the card. Having said that, Zapatellis has done nothing wrong. We will be fighting out money. It'll be right there. And then obviously Southpaw, he likes the 4, Xavion, or however you say that, Xavion. He says that's a bit of value. For me, yeah, good run behind Trip for Fortune, Pump and Power, never in the race behind Double Superlative. So, can improve. He's got Elder up this time. So, yeah, I won't talk him out from having a place bet on it. I don't see it winning. And there's been money for the 7, Senso Unico. For me, Pakaya could be one of my bankers in the pick 6.
Right, let's go. Pakaya is certainly a lot of money, 6-1 into 19-10. Then we go into the Cape Flying Championship, run over 1,000 meters, which for horses is a sprint. For me, it's considered long distance. And
for me, it's a marathon. What do you mean long distance? It's like a full-on marathon. Really, I think this is a tough race. I mean, when I say tough race, it's a tough decision to make. I do think it's between the top 2 on the boards, because if you look past them, then you got to look at Captain Fontaine, you look at Bereave, you look at Casimir, you've got to look at Mr. Cobbs, Hello Winter Hello, Sound of Warning. So it depends on how big your budget is. If you want to beat the top 2 on the boards, then go wide in the pick 6. I'm going to be doing this on Saturday morning. I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to have a look at the weather in Cape Town. If it's a tailwind and it's blowing, I'm gonna add in Real Gone Kid. But if it's a headwind, if they're running into the wind, then I'm going to bank a Rio Karari. I think Rio Karari is the class in the race. He's weighted to win the race. He's the horse to beat. I do just worry that the 1,000 meters might be just a little bit sharp now, but all we know for certain is that wherever 200 meters to go, Rio Karari will have to go and catch Real Gone Kid, because that's how their style of racing. And like I said, this is where Anton comes into the mix. It depends on how he's feeling, how his chin is, and all the rest of it. I'll make it a 2-horse race. I think 1 and 4 will fight this out. So the guys taking swingers and exactors, I think those are the right 2 horses. I'm sorry about going on favourites all the time, but you've got to look at the way a lot of these races are. You look at the best weighted horse, and on ratings, Rio Karari is a banker. But like I said, if there's a tailwind and it's quite strong, then I'm going to add in the 4 Real Gone Kid to just give it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's all about a return as well. I always enjoy looking for outsiders, but the reality is some races are run between the favourites, and you'd rather be on the favourite than on an outsider that ends up costing you a bit of money on the race.
100%. And sometimes we tend to try and look past the favourites because we wanted to pay more, but then we're taking 1% of something and then the favourite arrives and you're getting 1 or 5 or 10% of peanuts. So yes, you're 100% right. Sometimes you just got to go the favourite routes. But if I was adding in any horses, I would add in probably the 3 Casimir if it was into a headwind. Definitely the 7 Captain Fontaine. Maybe Hello Winter Hello and Sound of Warning. So those would be my horses for the quartet.
Right, let's go on to the Majorca Stakes, race number 8, a run over 1,600 meters. Captain's Ransom, one of the firmer favourites on the day at 13-10.
Yeah, he's drifted from 9-10. He opened short, and he opened too short in my mind. He was it was a stupid price in certain bookmakers, not everybody. Definitely the horse to beat. But having said that, I just think he had a very hard run race last time out. He pulled out all the stops to win the Paddock Stakes, and we just don't know if it's just taken out of her. Sorry. So horse to beat, stupid price, even money is 13-10. You got to look at the weight turnaround and how everything runs. Captain's Ransom and Chansonnet should finish on top of each other. So one's 13-10, the other one's 7-2. Should be probably 2-1 each. Definitely a runner is the 8 Chansonnet. I like Princess Keller. I think for me, third run after the rest. I know Captain's Ransom's had her number time and time again, but I do think that this time around, Princess Keller represents a value at the race at about 5-6-1. Mercury Rising comes into the race if you want to go a bit wider. And then obviously the 2, Zarina. I mean, she won a very good race, Garden Province race on Vodacom Durban July Day. So when she beat Captain's Ransom and that, and she might have just she might be the freshest of this group of runners. So I make it a little bit more open than the betting suggests. I do think the top sort of 4 in the betting will fight it out, and that's probably what I'm going to put in the pick 6. I don't think Captain's Ransom's a good thing. If she wins, great. But I'm looking to beat her with either Chansonnet, Princess Keller, or Zarina in the pick 6.
Jason, I'm a bit rusty on pick 6s. Do you still get the couplings? I know it stopped but I don't know if it went back to that. Do you get a coupling? Like if you go for a Snaith horse, do you get all these horses?
Brent, you've been it's no couplings. No
it's been many years,
for about 20 years now.
I recorded it. I don't know why I had this feeling that maybe it had gone back. So okay, no, that's good. No, that's good to know.
A lot of people in social media are calling for it to come back. They're also calling for other changes and that. And obviously with 4 Racing taking over, they'll look at all those things. But right now, no couplings. You have to put every horse in.
Yeah, and to be fair, with the amount of horses Snaith has got, I mean, I think it would take the fun out of the pick 6 if you just put his horse in every race. So you know, and you could probably put 1 or 2 others and catch it.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's go up onto the 9th, the WSB Cape Met race number 9. Okay, that's the obviously the
main race.
What? Let me just have a look. What time is it off? 5:10 tomorrow. And then we go on to the Cape Stayers race number 10, 2,800 meters. This Sparkling Water, your favorite at 19-10.
Well, Mark de Kock made a comment to Nico Kritsiotis over the weekend. If Sparkling Water travels well, nothing will touch her. She'll win. So for me, that's one of my better bets on the card. I'm going to bank her in the last jackpot. I think she is the horse to beat. I know the betting suggests that, but she opened like 28-10, so there has been money. Dangers will be Double Mint, Chrome Yellow, Bayberry, and one-way traffic. But for me, Sparkling Water, that'll definitely be in some of my doubles and trebles. You don't have to touch on too much. For me, that's one of the better bets on the card.
Excellent. I must say, just as we're going through, I'm just thinking these pools are going to be massive tomorrow. I'm definitely getting involved in the pick six.
They're betting into Hong Kong as well, so there's world pools. So the pools should be absolutely astronomical.
Brilliant. No, I'm looking forward to that. What I'll do is I'll take yours, I'll take Alan's, I'll look at the other guys on the good for the game, and I'll piece together a pick six. The only thing when I do that, it's often hard to find a banker because it's very seldom that the guys are all united on one horse. And if you are taking a pick six on a race day like this, you've almost got to try and find at least one banker, eh?
No, you have to. You've got to. It's hard. For me, I'm going to probably bank a Pakaya. And like I said, depending on where the conditions are in Cape Town, about Rio Karari. So that's where I'll be looking to banker. I'm looking to beat Captain's Ransom and a few others. Obviously, Comedy Ding and Jet Dark. A lot of people will be just putting one or two of those. And I'm looking to beat it with Marina. And do it again. So I'm trying to find a bit of value in the races, but when you talk these games, when you talk these events, you got to talk form, and that's all we can do. Being so far away from the horses. So yeah, you got to find one or two bankers, Brent. Otherwise, it's not really worth it.
Right, we're into the 11th race, run over 1,400 meters, and is it Han Solo here that is the weakish favorite at 7-2?
Yeah, a bit of money for Han Solo. Won last time out, won very well. Got a 6-point penalty for it, so definitely horse to beat. The talk is a little bit for the one Izapa. That's been money in there, 6-1 into 9-2. I think the race could be between those two. If you want other horses to just include in maybe a quartet in that, look at the 3 Paper Trail, the 4 Alinga Longa, and then Sergey. This horse was, I don't know if the pricing's right in the computer form here, opened 33-1 in its last start, and they backed it into 5-1. Finished 4th behind Hunt Solo. It's the comment here, switch stayed on. Yeah, if just have a look and see how that horse goes down to the start. I know that our friend Southpaw likes the 12 Poltergeist coming back down to a sprint or 1,400 meters. Finished behind Han Solo last time out. I just think this horse might be better over the 1,200. I'm not convinced that our friends found the right one here, but when I say that, that's when he must go and back them, because that's when they win.
You're right.
That's when they win. So for me, it's between 1, 2, and probably the 3. I think that's where I'll be playing sort of my quartets around those horses, but also a very open race. Anything can win.
I must admit, I don't play the horses often these days, but when I do, and if I'm a bit down going to the last couple of races, I go into the forum and I try and look for something that Southpaw's picked in the double figure range. He's got 100%. A habit of hitting those near the end of meetings. I think.
100%. He tipped Summer Cup winner. He's tipped a lot of good winners.
A lot of he's known for his longer prices. Last race, I believe, is it a 12 race card? Yes, last race here, run over 1,400 meters. What have you got for us to get out stakes the last?
It's a horse that I chat to Neil Andrews now and again, and we both like this horse on Queen's Plate Day. I stood to win a couple of grand with it run in the top 4, and it ran just outside. I think it ran 6th. Running over 1,400 meters now, I think will suit. You look at its last 3 starts, it finished in the 400 to finish. It was first, and second. So it knows how to finish. I just think last time out it got a bit of traffic problems, and it was also scalped. I'm talking about the 15 Laami Jean, however you say it. It's 33-1. It'll be bottom of your betting boards there. I don't know what price World Sports Betting's got it at.
Let's have a look here.
There you go, 33-1. 33-1, the one right at the bottom. That's what I like in the 12th. That's my get out stakes horse. It's 6-1 a place, I think, somewhere around there, 5.5, 6-1 a place.
Yes.
For me, that's what I'm going to have a few rand on. If I'm down, I'll have a few rand on if I'm up to. I think that represents massive value in the race. Rachel Venica taking 2.5 kgs off the draw. 13 concerns me, but this horse likes to run on, so they're going to drop her in, and then let her just run on. So for me, that represents a massive value. I do recognize that Forest Forever is probably a worthy horse to put in, one of the favorites. Island Treasure could be anything from the Lucinda Woodruff stable. I think the Nippy Winter also is one of the favorites. It's also one of those races, Brent, where anything can win, and I think that's why they've done it. My uncle has got a horse in the race as well, the 18 Mel's Princess, which was a second reserve runner. I know they think highly of this horse too. put up very good work, and I like the fact that it's dropping back in trip, and I think that's about 16-1. So I'm probably going to have a few swingers, the 15 and the 18, just for sentimental things. If they comes in, then I can retire because it'll pay absolute bombs, 33-1 and probably 20-1. Listen, last race tough. Have a look at it and see how they go down. But for me, the value in the race is bottom of the board, the 15, the Amagine.
Right, well, I've just put your double up because you did send me this double before the show. But while you were talking there, I was quickly scrambling on World Sports Betting's website to see what that multiple works out to. And it works out to just over 9-1. Gentleman Joe, that's race number 2, and Sparkling Water in race number 10. So a long wait between innings there. But yeah, if you can hit that double, you'll be out of it. That's for sure. 9-1.
Yeah, 100%. If the guys out there want to take a treble, then throw in Pakaya. You're probably that 9-1 will probably come. Pakaya's 2-1, so that's 9 times 10 times 330. It's almost 30-1 the treble.
Yes.
Maybe 20, 27, 28-1 the treble.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Pakaya 28-1. He shortened since from 2-1 to 19-10 since we spoke, or while we've been speaking. So that's it. The money is certainly coming there. But Jason, excellent, man. You're going to obviously, I can hear you're going to be getting involved in the exotics and that. So just to sum up again, your banker probably Pakaya and the pick 6.
Yeah, for me, Pakaya and the pick 6, and then obviously weather dependent. I will look to banker Rio Karori. I think you can go light in some legs, namely the first leg, probably the bankering in the 6th race, possibly bankering in the 7th, but I maybe go 2 horses. 8th race, I'm putting 4 or 5, and then at the back, I'm putting 4 or 5. So my pick 6 is not going to cost too much, but I do think there's two sort of trains of thought show on these race days that favourites never win or the favourites win. So it depends on how it plays out. I think the pick 6 will pay. I don't think it'll pay rockets, but I do think it'll pay a fair amount. For me, the pick 6 leg that you go wide is obviously the Juvenile race. If you go short and you get away with it, then you're making up a lot of ground and a lot of other punters. But yeah, that's how I'm going to play the pick 6.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much, Jason. And just a reminder, if you're watching this, we are predominantly a rugby betting YouTube channel. A live show every Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Subscribe and hit the bell. Don't miss that. And of course, last night's show is also available. So just have a look on our YouTube channel for that one as well. Jason, thanks very much. It's been great chatting to you. And yeah, looking forward to watching the show back and making some notes and getting involved in the races, and enjoy the rest of your Friday.
Perfect, Brenty. Thanks very much. And good luck to the punters out there. Good luck to the game guys. And it's always a pleasure being on your show.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next week for the Handicap Rugby Chat. That matters.